The Republic of Finland was declared in 1917 and established itself in a bitter civil war against communism. Now, 22 years later, Finnish independence is about to be snuffed out as the old enemy returns. The Red Army marches into Finland. The legendary Carl Gustaf Mannerheim leads the Finnish defense forces, under-equipped, poorly armed, and vastly outnumbered. Only high morale and skillful leadership can tip the scales back in Finland's favor. You will take the role of Lieutenant General Carl Lennart Osh, a talented Finnish officer and Marshal Mannerheim's most trusted commander. As the country's foremost defensive expert, lead Finland in the 3 wars fought on its territory throughout 1939 to 1945, and drive any and all invaders from your northern homeland, no matter which flag they're flying. Hold the line, General Osh.
And so, the Soviet Union shows its true colors. Their troops have crossed our border in force. Gentlemen, the war that began in Poland has finally come to us.
The Soviets claim our troops shelled their positions near the village of Mainila.
An absurd accusation, and they know it. Our artillery was pulled back precisely to prevent an incident like that.
Exactly. They simply needed an excuse to invade us. Now, they've created one.
At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter who fired the first shot. Now we have to defend ourselves.
It does matter to the League of Nations. Our government wants to appeal to the League for assistance.
That's nice, but the League can't help Finland if there is no more Finland to help.
Just so. We must hold the line, General Osh. And you are the best defensive tactician we have.
You'll have your hands full, General. The Soviets plan to overwhelm us with sheer numbers.
A few more months to prepare would have helped. Our main defensive line is still unfinished.
Then we'll have to rely on your skill and the sisu of our soldiers. I am placing my trust in you, General.
I won't let you down. But that appeal to the League, I suggest you tell our government to hurry.
General Iroh, give us a situation report.
The Soviet forces have broken through our border defenses. According to the field reports, they expect this initial attack to push all the way to Viipuri.
Well, they won't reach it. General Osh, you will make sure of it. Destroy the enemy's forward units. The time for diplomacy is over.
Understood, Field Marshal. Our soldiers will meet the enemy at Kanediarvi. The landscape there is excellent for defense. However, we can't hold the enemy there for long. My current forces won't nearly be enough.
I understand. You'll be reinforced at the earliest opportunity, but before that, the fate of Finland depends on your leadership. Do not let your country down, Lennart.
General Osh, strange enemy activity has been spotted at Patrike. Send in aviation reconnaissance as soon as possible to see what the Soviets are planning.
Understood, General Iroh. I will give the orders.
Your forces are comprised of both core and non-core units. Core units' strength indicator is green and round-shaped, and for non-core units it is yellow and hexagon-shaped. Non-core units are allocated for one mission only, while the core units will accompany you throughout the campaign. You'll be able to level them up and provide them with new equipment. These units are the ones which should be under your primary protection.
This thing has a target painted all over it.
Ammunition and fuel icons next to unit strength will allow you to quickly get important information about it. If the unit is still able to move during the current turn, the canister icon will be green. If it can no longer move, the icon will be gray. Likewise, the ammunition icon shows whether the unit is attacked this turn. If the unit is low on ammunition or fuel, the corresponding icon is yellow. It becomes red once the unit has run out of it completely.
Ready to roll out.
Tanks are ideal for a rapid offensive in open terrain. However, they are vulnerable in close quarters to the infantry units in difficult terrain, such as cities, mountains, forests, swamps, shallows, and well-entrenched infantry units.
Making contact with the enemy. Tanks are here.
Infantry is good for assaulting the enemy positions after the artillery and air bombardment. It is also the best unit for storming cities, mountains, forests, and well-entrenched positions. A well-entrenched infantry is a tough target for the enemy assault.
Here to defend our homeland. Understood? Soldiers of Finland. This thing has a target painted all over it.
This unit has heavy equipment. Units with heavy equipment cannot move if they do not have ground transport. Additionally, they cannot board air transport and can only disembark from naval transport at a seaport.
Civil Guard reporting for duty. At once, Commander. Ready to do our duty. Armored vehicle reporting.
This unit is on the verge of defeat. Send the unit to the service zone where it can be reinforced. The service zone is a 1 hex range around an infrastructure.
I asked you to conduct aerial General Oesch. An opportunity presents itself to capture some Soviet vehicles. Our scouts report that there are several disabled Soviet tanks currently in Karkamaki. Capture those tanks before the Bolsheviks get them back on the road.
We could definitely use some armor in this army. Thanks for the tip. I'll see about paying the Bolsheviks a visit.
First to meet the enemy. Load the high explosive. Tank ready for duty.
Guarding our land from Hanko to Petimo.
Everyone, move out.
Shoulder to shoulder, side by side.
Finish armor, standing by. Read you loud and clear.
Be careful when you send your tanks into city, mountain, and forest terrain. If they run into enemy infantry, any skirmish will... You have selected an entrenched unit. When a ground unit finishes its turn while still being able to move, it gains 1 level of entrenchment